And we're back. Next match on the board. It's Gurun versus Doble Huevo. We are here with two brand new teams and very well-known rosters on the board here. I will be joining you again, Chili Repair, joined this time by T1G for real. He will be here the whole match. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Glad to be back.
How was your break? How was your break for the hour?
You know, I watched Osu being played, and I watched a really good match. So you know, it was excellent. Roblox Kirby Grease Monkey Deluxe. That was a battle. But now we go to Group B for the only match that's actually going to be played in this group. So a lot on the line in this one.
Certainly is, and two extremely strong teams at that. I mean, there is not a single player I think I don't recognize on either side here. So extreme levels of depth and tournament experience on both sides.
Yeah, a lot of super strong players on both these rosters. Kind of a shame we didn't get to see either of them in their first matches. The other team in the group, 7 Kangaroos, 1 Bober, forfeited both of their matches. So this match is for all the marbles in this group, and I do think that you know, on paper, it does appear that Gurun is maybe a little bit stronger, but with the depth of experience, as you said, on both sides, should be a pretty close one. And we are already into the match, of course, since the previous one ran over a little bit. So looks like we're getting started here with DT2, and I'll see about getting updates on what's happened before this as we go through this pick.
Yeah, this is already looking strong for Gurun here. 3.2 million team score to 2.7 million, so respectable from the side of Doble Huevo. I believe this was the pick, it looks like, to start off for Gurun here, so we have a good start for them and a double FC from Nine Mice and Ryoshi here. Jungwoo Young and Gaby not quite matching up to those two, but a better team performance overall. Endura and Tofi trying to do their best. And honestly, the scores on here look pretty close on both sides. It's basically just the difference of those two FCs.
Yeah, picking the stamina DT map when you are a team that has a call bed is generally speaking going to be to your advantage. Dropping the early FC in this matchup to get things going for them. It does appear that, oh geez, I don't actually know what order these are in, but we have hidden 2, protected. I'm gonna
guess.
That's by Doble Huevo.
Yeah, there it
and
is.
then, yeah, because DT2 was protected by Gurun, and then DT1 banned by Doble Huevo, Hard Rock 3 banned by Gurun into that first pick of DT2 for Gurun. So, unsurprising, I think, the way that first protect and ban phase went, since obviously Gurun wants to opt into the heavy mechanics, and Doble Huevo wants to go the opposite direction.
This is going to be an interesting match, I believe. We talked about it a lot in the previous one, but there are a lot of polarizing skill sets that are available in this pool for these two teams, and teams that we've seen in matches before, where one team generally sides with the mechanics and one generally sides out with the more gimmicky side of things. Now, there may be a little bit of a difference here, right? Because Doble Huevo does not, to me, look like a particularly gimmick-heavy team. Actually, they look the opposite. They look like a mechanics team going up against another mechanics team in this match. So there's going to be a lot of contention on certain slots. And then I think we've got coin tosses on a few others, which is going to be interesting. But Doble Huevo will be taking their Protect to start off, likewise, with GRN here.
Yeah, there's been, I think, a lot of discussion, you know, with protects. Like, do you just first pick your protect and get an early point on the board? You know, do you save it till later on as kind of break glass in case of emergency if you're able to win other picks first? Do you know, hope to get a break point and then pick your protect after you get a break point to try to consolidate it? A lot of different strategies possible, but these two teams just saying, nah, we're gonna opt into our protects first things first, get our hopefully guaranteed points on the board. And kind of move on from there. You know, Gurun probably going to look to like the Nomad 5, and then they'll have to switch things up a bit. And depending on how this pick goes, Doble Huevo, you know, there is the free mod 2 if they want to lean into that gimmick some more. But I think it'll be interesting to see how this one goes, which is low AR with a little bit of precision thrown in slightly smaller circles than normal for a hidden 2 pick. So we'll see if that plays into how this map goes and how future picks go.
I like that. I think that there is going to be a bit of uncertainty in the start of this match. Something I mentioned earlier, right, is especially in this format, a lot of the nervousness of these matches comes from this first pick, right? So to take your first pick does set you up for success, and generally it does give you that confidence going into your later picks to stick to your original plan, if you will. So for both teams to open up with their protect here is certainly not unheard of. If you are not wanting to test the waters early, which I personally disagree with. I think testing the waters early is generally the better scenario rather than later, but these two teams really just wanting to get an early point on the board, which, you know, if you only look at it in that light, is certainly the area that you want to be going for. And some early trouble here from Gurun as Gaby and Zhang Wuyong struggle a bit out of the gates here, along with a Colabed.
Yeah, Haga Wabla does have a couple of early breaks on the side of Doble Huevo, so, you know, kind of tempering things as Rebo falls as well. But you've got a double FC on PP Poo Poo. What a great username that is. And Bowmilk. Arj matching the FC, but with some questionable AC. Gaby and Zhang Wuyong struggling. This map is, like, harder than it looks because obviously the mechanical challenge is just not that high. But the reading, the aim, and, you know, the slight precision angle of it as well really all combined to make it a pretty challenging map for players who aren't super comfortable with all the required skill sets. And you are down to Bowmilk versus Arj, the only FCs left. Combo advantage has actually flipped over to Gurun, by the way. So we'll see if a Colabed can hold on to that backing combo if Arj can hold the FC. Instead, it's just going to be both FCs breaking.
Well, lucky. There goes all of the advantage that basically either team had, but this is not a short pick either. At over 3 minutes with this skill set, there is so much room for error here on both sides, and it's Gaby versus the world now. Now it's Gaby versus nobody as he looks to bring this score lead back for his team. I lied, Gaby. Why did you miss?
Boy, these are two teams that do not look very comfortable on this skill set. This is a very interesting choice of, I mean, it might end up working, but it's a very interesting choice of protect, considering that no one on Doble Huevo is really having a super great time of it. Maybe they just anticipated Gurun having even more trouble. They have one combo over 100. There are two combos over 100 in the entire map at this juncture with a Colabed and Bowmilk. That lead is not stable by any means, 40,000 points, but you're building up some combo in this slow part. Last quarter of this map is going to be huge because it's going to be a very close battle going into it.
This is a tough map. Unironically, it's something we talked about in the last match, but to have this AR also dragged into smaller circle size generally makes this more uncomfortable for teams than people would think, and we had two exceptional teams on this map in the last match. Actually, Yokespy putting up a full combo on this on the match immediately prior. 2 million team scores effectively for both sides really puts into perspective just how difficult this map is, even for an earlier stage here. Luckily for Doble Huevo, it looks like they are going to be pulling out the win here, despite having breaks on both sides. Ribo and PP Poo Poo 997 going to be bringing this one home.
Yeah, pretty sizable combos in this last third to quarter of the map from several members of Doble Huevo. Bowmilk had a large combo before breaking a couple times near the ending, Rebo and PP as well. So a good job closing it out by Doble Huevo after it was quite close through the middle portion of the pick. I mean, that was down at 40,000 points, and it ends up being nearly 200k. So definitely picked up the pace at the ending there to hold on and make it a little more definitive of a victory than it may have been otherwise. But all that does is make it 1-1. You know, those were, well, the first pick went quite well, it would appear, for Guru, and obviously we didn't get to see too much of that one, but dropping the 3 mil and winning it by nearly 500k versus as close as that first pick was for Doble Huevo. We'll see how they continue on. I think this is probably a Nomad 5 angle if you are Gurun second picking here.
I agree. And it was that consistency really that showed through for Doble Huevo at the ending. We talk about that Hidden 2 being a slightly longer map, even for that skill set. So to be able to maintain your confidence all the way through to the ending is something that they could look for in some of the other hidden picks. Obviously, both of the two remaining still able to be picked. Only one more pick before we get into our second set of bans, though. So if they want to pick another hidden, Might suggest doing it now. A third one potentially banned out by Gurun if they don't end up winning either. And that Nomad 5 pick that you mentioned, I think, is a good spot for them to go right now. If they want to save maybe that last DT, or maybe they go for it. I think either way, Doble Huevo bans out either DT3 or that Nomad 5 remaining.
Yeah, and it is just going to be the Nomad 5 pick here for Gurun. No surprise at all there. A very strong speed team, and this is a pretty challenging Nomad 5 pick here for a quote-unquote early round. This tournament doesn't really have early rounds. Like, we just jump straight into, 7+ star pools. But, yeah, this Nomad 5 is, your kind of standard chemo Nomad 5. Lots of bursts and some longer streams as well. It does have a banger 1/3 section with some slightly more challenging flow aim than most of the rest of the map. But in general, is the Nomad 5 that we kind of have come to know and expect in Corsace tournaments.
That is true. It's one of the constants, I feel like, here. Even if everything else switches around, it's always going to remain. And for that, I think generally works pretty well on a lot of teams for their playbook here. But this Nomad 5 and Doble Huevo are definitely not opposing forces here. Doble Huevo's got players that can perform on this sort of skill set. I mean, I'm looking at Ribo and Rico right on the top right there, not even focusing on players like Lights Out, who could potentially rock this one as well. I know he's more of an aim-focused player with a faster maps regard, but still, I don't think that there is a shortage of opposition for Team Gurun on this one at all.
No, I do think that there are definitely players on Doble Huevo who can do well in this. I think the biggest thing is just going to be, you've got you've got a Colabed, right? Like, that's just such a huge factor. Having somebody who's going to be very, very strong on the speedier picks in the pool, I think always puts you in a good position on maps like this. And then when you drop in Jungwoo Young, Arj, and Ryoshi alongside, you just end up with a very solid roster for anything speed. So we're going to go into another one of these classic Katagiri Nomad 5s that, a bit polarizing in terms of song quality, but the map quality is unarguable.
I mean, we had what was it, the Mind Chaser Nomad 4 in OWC last year, so certainly not it's certainly not one of the more interesting songs we've ever had in a tournament map at this level. But, it matches up. This is like if 7-7 and Katagiri merged into a singular entity. That's kind of what Katagiri was going for on this one, I feel like. And we're seeing breaks from both sides right now again, so matching up well.
Yeah, early miss from Arj, early chain miss from Lights Out. Unfortunately, dropped his way down. PP also down 93 accuracy, similar to Arj. 94, 95 on Ryoshi and Jungwoo Young. Again, you're looking at the Colabed. You're looking at Tofi as well. 99.4 highest act in the lobby, holding that FC, one of the three for that side. And there's a bunch of breaks. Down goes Jungwoo Young, down goes Arj, down goes PP. It is Tofi and Enduro holding a double FC, just a Colabed left with the FC on the side of Gurun. So lead is going to go to Doble Huevo here, already about halfway through. We're going to come through the first really long, challenging section of this map with a sizable advantage to Doble Huevo of 300k, even with Tofi dropping the FC. It is only a Colabed with meaningful combo for Rune.
That finger control section just absolutely melting some players there, but Endura to hold is massive for Doble Huevo right now. And look at that team score difference right now. 300,000 is quite a bit of ground to make up. And Endura finds a break literally at the second they needed to. A Colabed has 400,000 potential score. They only needed 300,000.
That was a really bad place to break for Enduro. We're going to come into the ending here with the Colabed having the opportunity to bring this back over. Jungwoo Young also quietly has built up a 500 combo to support. And that lead is going to come down, but down goes the Colabed on the flow aim. And Ryoshi trades it as well, so it is Jungwoo Young alone, but PP has combo, and there's backing combo on all three other members of Doble Huevo. And the chance that was there for a Colabed, but the break is going to prevent that. And we're looking at an early break point here on this speed pick for Doble Huevo.
Wow. We talked about contention, but contention to the point of taking a break point is a whole nother level there. And by the margin that they did it at, too, 230,000 basically, is a comfortable score gap there. And look at the difference, though. I mean, this is just Ryoshi and Arg not able to play that map. 2-finger control heavy, perhaps, for them on the base speed. Ryoshi, a really good speed player. Arg, not so much, but... definitely like getting fourth player a bit there, but they were banking on a Colabet FCing that.
Yeah, the Colabet score, like you said, you expect an FC out of him. Even if he'd FC'd, though, that's not going to be a winnable map for that team without some better supporting scores. What they really needed was him to FC, but they also needed Ryoshi or Arj, or at least Jung Woo-young, to put up a higher score as well. It's just the team difference there with those bottom scores that you talked about, 485 and 377, the bottom two scores for Doble Huevo versus 292 and 240k, the bottom two scores for Gurun. So full roster working out, and breakpoint advantage with a couple of options available still to Doble Huevo. If they wanted to go back into the hidden pool, they've got hiddens 1 and 3. If they want to go to that gimmick, they've got the free mod 2 as well. So there are choices here for them.
You gotta wonder if Gurun is nervous about picking speed later on in this match now, too, because if Doble Huevo is able to pick up their own map right now, we go into the band phase next up. Doble Huevo, if they don't think they can match up quite as well on that DT3 as they did on that Nomad 5, they could just as easily ban that out and prevent Gurun from having another strong map available to them in the second half of this match. That's a big advantage going in to remove one of your opponent's strongest picks after taking a break point, no less, on that. So I think they have both the mental advantage right now and the strategy advantage.
Yeah, and they're going to opt into the free mod 1, so we're just going to go kind of free mod alt. This is a relatively straightforward style of alt map, and it's something that I think some of the best players on Gurun, if they're even here, are not necessarily at their best on. Curious, like no Kamenchik on a Nomad 5, right? Maybe he's not here. We haven't seen Nathan Ram or Milk Teaism on the first couple of picks. So the question mark of whether Gurun actually has their full roster comes into play as well. But I like this pick, I think, for Doble Huevo here to try to consolidate. Free mod, you're going to have somebody on the hidden, somebody on the hard rock who's going to be comfortable on those mods for these two teams will be the question.
Missing players is certainly not an uncommon scenario, but it does make a big difference for a lot of teams in this tournament. I mean, even if we look back to the match that was immediately prior to this one, Grease Monkey Deluxe was missing Andros in that match, and they were only 1 point of difference away from tiebreaker on that after losing their Protect pick, which I imagined he would have made a difference on there. So to be missing players in the early stages of this tournament, especially when you've got even matchups on paper like this, with the type of players you have, it's dangerous. It is a scary scenario to go into something like this. And now with Doble Huevo on the free mod 1, gonna look to consolidate a break point before the second half of this match already. That's setting Gurun up for a battle in the second half.
We will get into it here, and we'll see if that consolidation can come through. We're going to see Jung Woo-young, Gaby, Akalabet, and Arj versus Endura, PP, Hagawabla, and Bowmilk going to be coming in on this one to take the hard rock. And with mods not loading, so the hiddens aren't loading. It's Haga on HDHR and Bowmilk on hidden only, so we probably need a quick panic to get the mods loaded. Nobody has hidden on that actually has it.
Does Gaby and Bowmilk not have hidden on? Is that just a glitch?
Sorry, that's the hidden thing on this. Yeah. Sorry. The hidden icon confused me. I'm brain dead.
Hidden is not usually that color.
I'm not used to a white hidden icon.
Yeah, a different color.
I thought that was the no fail icon for some reason. Okay, anyway.
I respect it.
Yeah, hidden white. Don't make hidden white. Hidden's yellow. Anyway, double HDHR. Over mods on this? Expected? Surprised?
For Hagawabla, no. Hidden preference player for Hidden Hard Rock all day. Unfortunately, Hard Rock is a difficult mod combo on this map already. So the ability to find miss-aims with the Hidden on does exist pretty heavily as we see him find an early break here. Fortunately, Ark has found an early break as well as Gaby here, Endura and Hagawabla on the side of Doble Huevo. It's a two-way FC against Jong and kind of Gaby right now, but he's getting matched by Endura.
The double FC though, huge on Bowmilk and PP, especially with a lot of problems here for Gurun. They have actually a 4-way reset in the last 100 combo. Bowmilk goes down as well. So we're just watching PP on the lone FC left in the lobby. Endura, the solid backing combo here, and that lead is going to start to grow. Wait, wow, Gurun is just not having a good time at all, and it's actually a lot of players not having a good time, and this is Bowmilk and PP both break again as well.
This is the dense style Nomad 3, and we talked, or Free Mod 1 rather, and
it's a Nomad 3 in the Free Mod 1 slot.
Nomad 3, yeah, Free Mod 1, Nomad 3 slot with the alt, but unlike the Nomad 3, which is more aim control focused in terms of the spacing, this is pretty dense. There's not a lot of major snap patterns in this map. There's a lot of these dense, square, tight patterns that you really have to reel your cursor movement in on, which proves to be difficult for many of the players who can't hit these tight snaps. Again, that density playing in now, and it's a Kolabed past halfway who's actually going to be able to bring this one back for Gurun.
Yeah, he's got to keep holding through some of these tricky flow patterns, but he does do so. A little bit of a tricky section to come here. You get this guitar solo. There's a big flow pattern at the end of it, I believe. Boy, the breaks coming through from everywhere, but he did enough before missing to bring the lead over, and now it is Arj versus Endura in a virtual 1v1. Arj is going to be the one to break. Let's see if Endura can hold to bring this back over. It's only a 20k lead, so that score should go the way of Doble Huevo here on this big expanding flow, accelerating flow pattern. Endura gets caught out, and now it is dead even coming into the last quarter of the map, Chillier. This is a nail-biter into the ending.
Not the scenario you want. If you're Doble Huevo, you want to consolidate this breakpoint now, but Gurun not making it easy for them. It's a break from Hagawabla to ensure that this score lead stays over on the side of Gurun as we pass the quarter way mark. It's a double break compared to only one for Gurun. The consistency into the ending will hold them. It's Gaby and a Kolabed missing on the jumps, but it's the number 2 player in the world to finally find a break. But have they done enough? There's no combos on Doble Huevo.
Yeah, they have just absolutely nothing on their side. They have been struggling through much of this pick, and it continues as the breaks come through. The chain misses even in this last section on the flow patterns. Really just not having a great time. These are, I'm just going to say, these are some shockingly poor scores that we're seeing on this map, but all that matters is the team, the 4v4 overall. And it looks like that is going to be going the way of Gurun as just miss after miss after chain miss. Oh my goodness. That...
What a break point.
Can we talk about the fact that 1.3 million score just won a map by over 120k? I mean, brutal stuff. You'd think this was like grand finals from those scores.
That is unfortunate for both teams there. I mean, average score on that map overall was just barely above 250,000. For both teams, it was barely above 300,000 for the side of Gurun there, which is what gave them the win. But, I mean, Doble Huevo, fortunately for them, they know that they shouldn't pick Nomad 3 now later on in this match. But at the same time, I do not hope that was their best remaining pick left, in that it was simply just a testing the waters map because they had a breakpoint, which is a valid strategy. If you have a breakpoint early, test the waters, see what you're maybe good or not good at, and what your opponent's good or not good at. So now they know. But if that was their strongest pick remaining in this pool, then, there may be some trouble here for Doble Huevo going into the second half of this match. As we have the ban phase now, the real question is, do they ban out the DT3? Do they take the Nomad 5 win, and do they just ban out the other Akolabed potential carry? Or do they keep it up and see if they can win another speed map? And they do.
Well, it's gonna be the Hard Rock 1 ban. So there's your answer to that. I don't think the DT3 was something I would have really been considering banning anyway, since that one is a little lower BPM and it's more about the finger control than it is about the raw speed and tapping ability or anything like that. So I think just banning a map that you don't expect to get a great team score on instead of, banning a specific skill set, which Hard Rock 1 may have been the case here. For Gurun, I genuinely don't know what you necessarily feel like you need to ban here. I guess you could maybe consider banning the free mod 2. Other than that, nothing really jumps out because of the way that the first 4 maps have gone.
Well, should be soon for that next pick from them, but yes, I do worry about what comes next for these two teams, bans withstanding the picking phase to come after as well. What do you go for on both sides here? You want to stick to the mechanics if you're Team Gurun right now, but doble huevo to contest on that, and doble huevo losing that free mod 1 automatically eliminates another pick, and it's a DT3 ban actually coming out from Gurun instead, so they are scared off the DT from that Nomad 5 loss.
Yeah, the DT3 being a really different style of map again. Like, it is. I don't compare this DT3 to the DT2 or Nomad 5. It's not. This is only a 3 DT pool, so it's not like a traditional, DT3 stamina map or DT3 speed map. So maybe they just don't feel like they have the right players available for it today or something. But now it feels like this match is just totally reset, right? With the traded breakpoints and with us through the second ban phase, it really just hits the reset button on this entire match, considering the picks that are available still in the pool. You've got 4 of the Nomads left that encompass a wide variety of skill sets, couple hiddens. So it's different options. The only thing that's really similar to what we've seen so far at all would be like the Nomad 3 being similar, of course, to that free mod 1.
Interesting to start here. And yeah, I'm with you, right? Effectively a best of 7 now for these two teams if you want to take a clean slate out of it. But with the information they have, do we see Gurun potentially go for another free mod here? I'd say free mod 2 might be one of their better picks, but they are going to go for the hidden finally. So going to chance this, even with the hidden 2 being a loss. The hidden 1 being a lot more aim focused might be a bit of a comfortable spot for them, especially compared to hidden 2. Vastly different pick, right? CS, 5.7, 5.8, and
5.8, yeah.
Yeah, and AR 7.7, completely different than this aim style hidden 1.
Yeah, it's really going to be switching up the skill set quite a bit. You go from, in the hidden pool from that low AR to kind of a light tech. An aimy light tech map is like the easiest way to put it. So yeah, I think just feeling like this skill set is something that's good for them. I don't personally feel like this map leans either direction for one or the other of these teams based on like what we've seen of the players and their performances as of yet. But perhaps this is just a gigantic Gaby angle. Who knows? This is a pick that I really do feel could go either way. I don't think this is a map that 100% suits one team over the other. I'm waffling. I love waffling.
Well, this is a new area. Once again, testing the waters. We saw doble huevo test the waters a little bit ago with that free mod 1, and they found out, we will say. Gurun potentially going to find out as well. They lost again that first hidden pick, so regardless of it being a different slot, doble huevo clearly has confident hidden players as a roster here. So hoping for Gurun, maybe this higher BPM, more mechanically focused hidden will be a more confident spot for them.
Well, we'll find out here as we go into it. We've seen a couple breaks early on. Bowmilk, PP, Ryoshi. A bunch of breaks right at the very start. The only actual FC remaining is Haga Wobble. There's Gaby breaking a recovery combo. So you have two pretty sizable combos against and a decent backup versus an FC, a sizable backing combo, two slightly worse off recovery combos. Bomilk with another break, and it's advantage to Gurun, not by a whole lot, but slightly better combo on everyone barring that FC. And that FC goes as Haga breaks.
That's rough for Doble Huevo. Ryoshi, not the person you needed to see a break from there. Bomilk having the most trouble of anyone in this match right now. Maybe and a Colabed finding a double break though is massive. Now they just need that break from Zhang Wuyong to make this possible for Doble Huevo. They are going to bring it back with that supporting score on PP here, but Zhang really holding strong. I mean, this is Zhang's skill set in part, right? Very strong on this hidden aim.
Yeah, he's showing out here for sure as one of the best scorers in the lobby. He and Revo are essentially dead even. Revo has that accuracy advantage. Zhang Wuyong has a tiny combo advantage. Those two doing battle, but that backing combo on PP is huge because Gaby and Akalabed are so far behind, and Ryoshi is only matching Bomilk. And there goes Revo, that biggest combo gone. So that's gonna slow things as it was the lead going to Doble Huevo. But Gaby and Ryoshi both trade, so a total combo I think stays in the lead for Doble Huevo, except with Haga breaking. Now we're just kind of watching Zhang Wuyong now. That big combo is going to be huge.
Zhang is the only thing holding this down for Gurun right now. The score lead will stay in favor of Doble Huevo for just a little bit longer. But if Zhang holds this into the ending, Ryoshi gets slow slidered.
They might run out of time here. I don't know. This ending is very
they won't. Though. No, they won't. Double break from Haga and Bomilk.
Okay. Yep. That's just going to go over now. PP can't do this alone. Great. Zhang Wuyong breaks into the stream pattern. Ryoshi falls as well. Akalabed and Gaby. Gaby breaks too. PP Revo both fall. Can Akalabed bring this? No, he cannot. We run out of time. We run out of time. And Doble Huevo takes another breakpoint. That's 3 straight.
And
I don't even know what just happened.
He almost did it. Zhang Wuyong almost did it. 880k. He's over 180k higher than the next player in the lobby on PP for the side of Doble Huevo, but PP holding on for just long enough, and Rebo with that 1100 combo, just a better duo than the top two from Gurun, and it made literally the smallest of differences possible. I mean, that was, what, 40k?
Yeah, that was very, very close. Ends up 38,000 points separating them. Just, I mean, Zhang Wuyong just needed to hold on a little longer, or Akalabed needed to have a little more combo. Any one little thing, right? It's the smallest of margins, man. You kind of feel for JWY, man. 882k, best in the lobby by 180, but just not quite enough overall. So Doble Huevo, breakpoint back over, advantage back their way 3-2, but the way this match is going, like, how do you even win your own pick anymore? I have no idea.
What is happening right now? I mean, you know, for Doble Huevo, that breakpoint back, again, it just shows the confidence on both sides here. I mean, an immediate trade back from Gurun, but that breakpoint going back to Doble Huevo here shows that they are still confident in what they need to do here, and it's Nomad for the tech slot, buzz slider heavy, aim heavy. Nomad 4.
This is it's a very slider aim focused, and in a match where we have not yet seen any tech. We had a light tech hidden one, but this type of tech is really, this is the only representation of that skill set. So this is, you know, again, it's a little bit testing the waters. It's a little bit throwing stuff. It feels, you know, just kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, because with 3 break points in a row, it doesn't feel like the teams really know their strengths and weaknesses here as well as they might like to. But again, you know, you've got players on both sides who I think will do well on this, and I believe we have a Nathan Ram sighting, and that could be huge because he is one of the best players overall on either of these teams in total. So could be a difference maker if we see him getting into this match.
Terrifying force, and again, to have more of your roster available, it's not only going to increase your depth, but your confidence as well. no matter what player you are missing on your team on any given day, whether or not they are the strongest player, they are the middle of the pack, like engine room player, or they're the like anchor leg or something like that, missing a player is nerve-wracking, right? You know that there's going to be something not available to you, or in a 4v4 setting, you know you may not have, again, the depth that you may want on a specific pick. And there he is on for this map now, and this has automatically boosted my confidence for Gurun on this map.
Yeah, this is massive. Nathan Ram is so good at virtually everything. I mean, the guy has been a perma-lobby fixture in a lot of tournaments, so definitely a player you're glad to see if you are Gurun and you need this break point back. We'll see if he can come in and have an immediate impact. Milk lights out Haga PP4. The doble huevo side looking to maybe consolidate the break points. A couple early misses from Gurun to start things off before this map really kicks off.
Well, early start here. Not looking as good for Gurun as it is for doble huevo. A little bit of struggle here. Nathan Ram maybe a little bit unwarm coming into the first map here. Might have just gotten home. It's a break from Akolaba and Zhang Wuyong, only traded out by PP and Ballmilk here. So it's 3 breaks to 2. As we see Gaby finally find that last miss, it is now lights out and Haga Wabla to hold this.
The double FC crucial thus far. Not a long map either, just over 2 minutes. So if those two can continue to hold, they'll build up a pretty meaningful advantage here for doble huevo. Really no combo to speak of on the side of Gurun at all. Still a third of the map to go, but Haga and Lights continuing to hold strong as we hit this next slider aim heavy section into the last third of the map, and those combos holding on. The accuracy staying high as well for Lights, and more breaks coming out around the lobby. They're starting to build up a little bit for Gurun. I don't know if it's going to matter much. There they go with the breaks.
There, lights out, still holding this one down all the way into the finish. We're through the hardest section of the map, I would say, into this final bit here. It's only a Colabet on a 400 combo, and even then PP is matching 300 of that. It is effectively lights out with an 800 unmatched combo right now for them, meaning there is nothing to be gained for Gurun as doble huevo consolidates. The first breakpoint is 3 people get caught on that, 4 get caught on that slider, 4 people.
I looked at this map, I was like, I hope nobody breaks an FC on that star slider at the end. Maybe not an FC, but we did see some breaks on it. That is a full combo, though, from Lights Out. A far cry from some of the scores we've been seeing in this match so far. I believe that might be only about our third FC, our second map with any FCs. First time since DT2 we've seen a full combo in this lobby. And it comes at the hands of Lights Out on the Nomad 4. Consolidated breakpoint, 4-2 lead, and 3 points there of the last 4 to the side of doble huevo. And now it's a little bit panic mode for Gurun going into their next pick. They've only won their first pick, the 2 since then not going their way. Need this one to avoid dropping to match points down.
An important pick for Gurun here. Again, down, but not out. They're not even at match point yet, so there is still time to turn this around. They've taken break points in this match before. They immediately traded the break point that they found in the first half of this match. And for their sake right now, they're going to need to make that magic happen just one more time at least. Again, being 1 point away from match point for doble huevo here. This is the point of effectively no return for Gurun. If they don't win this one, this is their final pick of the match. And the Nomad 3, I think this is a good spot for them. The performance from both teams was not necessarily desirable on the free mod 1, but Gurun did come out on top.
Yeah, free mod 1, just a high volatility map, right? Very easy to run a practice score of 800k, then come into the match and run like a 400k. It's just that type of pick with all those really difficult, like accelerating flow patterns and the difficult, some of the difficult snappy aim sections as well. I do think we saw scores lower than expected on it, but you can understand to some degree why the variability is there. I think this Nomad 3 may be just a little bit easier to be consistent on. I think there's a little bit more free combo in the Nomad 3 than in the free mod 1. Fewer of those really difficult sections where you're more liable to break. So we'll see if the teams can just up their scores across the board. And Gurun, like you said, hoping to run back the Free Mod 1 win at a time in the match when they really do need it.
I think I kind of mentioned this while the Free Mod 1 was ongoing, but Nomad 3 is a bit more of an unconventional alt slot, right? This is a little bit more control focused in terms of the mapping style. So you're not looking for that big flow or snap that you see on a lot of the other alt slots in Nomad 3, which may prove to favor one team more heavily than they may be expecting. For the sake of Gurun, we hope it's them. Get this match right back on track to where it needs to be. But again, I think that with both of these alt maps in this pool, there's just so much contention given their styles.
Yeah, quite different types of alt. I feel like a lot of the skill sets, really, I guess, in this matchup are just contested. Just in general, I don't know that there's anything that feels super duper one-sided. I mean, yeah, we saw the 635k win on that Nomad 4 just then, but I feel that was kind of an unexpected outlier. I don't think we expected it to be quite that one-sided. So I think the Nomad 3 is going to probably bring the teams back a little bit closer together in terms of the scores. And into it we're going here. So we're going to see once more Gaby, Akalabet, Arj, and Nathan Ram for Gurun. We're going to see Rebo, Lights, Haga, and Bowmilk, it looks like. I joined after the map had started, but that was a while after, so don't know what the story is there. But this feels like a must-win for Gurun, so they've gotta lock it down, gotta get some solid scores. Really need to put themselves in a good position in this map if they want to have a chance at being successful in the match overall.
Well, starts now. Not a short map, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Plenty of time for switchbacks to happen here, but we're seeing a couple early breaks here. Just one from Hagawabla, keeping the accuracy high, 99.3%. But finding a second break doesn't bear well for them, especially this early. Again, big over aims from Haga.
Yeah, the trade from Arj, though, did come through, and there goes Akalabet also. And now advantage goes to doble huevo. 3 FCs against 2. Make that 2 FCs. Nope, 3 FCs against 2. Sorry, another break from Haga, traded with Arj again. So Nathan Ram looking a little more comfortable on this map than he did on the Nomad 4. Gaby looking very solid as you'd anticipate on this type of pick. But the Rebo and Lights Out double FC is keeping it even. Only a 40k difference, though, with the Bowmilk break. This one, like we expected. Looking like a bit of a battle. There goes Lights Out, though. And now 2 FCs against 1. Advantage Gurun.
Good opportunity for them. They need this right now. Nathan Ram stepping up a little bit more heavily than we saw on that Nomad 4 here with the alt slot again. This is definitely his skill set, dropping a bit of accuracy here. And it's Rebo very high ac on the side of the Major FC. Gaby unchecked right now. That's the big point we need to notice. There is an unchecked FC on Gurun right now, which is going to do major damage if they can make it into this next Ki.
Here we are. All eyes on Nathan Ram and on Gaby. They're going to continue to grow this lead out, 100k now. And Hagawabla continuing to struggle. He's fallen a bit behind most of the other players in the lobby. Arj only about 30k ahead of him, but otherwise that score not looking too great. And the double FC just continuing. Nathan Ram and Gaby looking so solid on this, and Akalabet backing them up as well. Doing a solid job of matching, that kind of backing support combo. Gaby does fall. It's down to 1 FC, but we're going to get to the point in the map where it doesn't matter anymore with it being a 200,000 score lead.
This is definitely hitting the point of no return for Doble Huevo here into the ending of the map. Despite having support on both sides here, it's basically even. They're only gaining just a little bit. Arg is going to make it a bit more possible. Same thing with the Akalabet, but Nathan Ram matching up to this big combo on Rebo is going to effectively make sure that they run out of time, even if they have the advantage, and there's the FC gone.
And this is just looking like a solid performance. This is what Gurun really needed here. Nathan Ram trying to close out the full combo into the very end. And there it is. His second map in the match is an FC on this Nomad 3 pick. Well done to Gurun there. They absolutely needed that pick. and they got it. I mean, sub 200k, it was a decently close one most of the way through, but just the length of time they held onto that double FC and the fact that there was no full combo on the side of doble huevo made the difference. And it brings it back to now only 4-3. Still the breakpoint advantage to doble huevo, but you can tell that Gurun is settled in for a battle here in these last 2 picks to come.
Definitely, speculation that first map that we saw earlier was Nathan Ram's first map of the day, potentially, seeming to be a little bit more true after seeing the second performance from him of the day, looking so strong on this slot compared to the earlier one. So really expecting big things out of having Zhong, and we talked about that the first time we saw him appear in this match, right? That is such a crucial player for them that, going into the later parts of this match, it may be the difference between them having lost this match or dragging this to even avoid tiebreaker. Still, they have the ability to avoid it altogether.
Yeah, it'd take 4 points in a row to do that, but it's definitely a possibility now. Nathan Ram here and playing well is a big bonus for that roster. While we're in between maps here, I do want to mention real quick, we do have a result on the board. In Group A, the last match in that group, Bottom Gear versus Black Belt. Match to decide the second team to make it out was won by Bottom Gear, 6-3, the score of that one. So they will emerge from Group A as the second seed out of that group. Irishman 3, of course, the top seed out of that group, advancing onward to Week 2. And Black Belt will be the second team eliminated from the tournament this week. So we will be saying goodbye to them, but it looks like a tough fought one there. 6-3 is usually indicative of a single break point in a close match overall. So well done there to Bottom Gear. But returning here, it's going to be the Hidden 3. All 3 Hiddens going to be picked in this matchup, and the first 2 were both won by doble huevo, and so they're saying we will pick into the third one and see if we can't go 3 for 3.
I respect it. Go in. We've seen teams basically try and win all Hidden maps in this pool. I think Hidden is probably the most polarizing mod pool in this round of the tournament. Hard Rock, not quite as much so as we usually see. Hard Rock 2 definitely going to be favoring the stronger precision team, but Hard Rock 1 being a base mechanics map and, kind of what I would call just Nomad 1, but with smaller circles, gives a little bit more of an advantage to other teams. Hard Rock 3 has been banned by a lot of people this week as well, so we haven't quite seen that as much.
Question to me is, again, we've talked about how a lot of these picks are pretty contested between these rosters. Does this Hidden 3 feel like the type of map that's actually favored one way or the other? It's so long. It's so different, and it's so long.
It is long. And I mean, we kind of touched on it with the Hidden 1 as well, where, the Hidden 1 is a completely different skill set than Hidden 2. So for Gurun to go and pick that map out was maybe not a bad idea, especially given how close Hidden 2 was, but it does prove, I think, as of right now, that doble huevo does have a more confident Hidden roster across the board here. So while Hidden 3 may be vastly different, Hidden 1 and Hidden 2, I would also say, are vastly different in terms of skill sets. And even then, doble huevo came out on top. So at this venture of the match, on pick number 3, it's either going to have to be third time's the charm for Gurun here, or doble huevo is just going to continue doing what they've been doing on Hidden this entire match.
Well, in we go. JWI Arj, Nathan Ram, and Gaby, PP, Rebo, Haga, and Bomilk. Nathan Ram, the difference maker on the previous pick, right? Huge score on that Nomad 3. We'll see what he can do here coming into his first Hidden pick of this match. Might be crucial as Gurun try to tie it up. This is such a fascinating type of pick. Not the sort of song you get a lot in map pools, I feel. And certainly stylistically, as you said, pretty big departure from what we've seen most of the way so far. So players going to have to adjust this one, but so far so good across the board. Just the early break from Bomilk, but 7FC is still alive for the first 200 combo with relatively decent accuracy on most as well.
We're waiting for that team performance from either side, right? A lot of these hidden picks thus far have been pretty big, either solo or duo carries for either of these two teams. So, on a map like this, you're really looking for a team performance on a longer format, almost 5 minutes, and at pretty low BPM with the format here, definitely makes this dangerous for any potential breaks. And there it is again, full reset now for Doble Huevo. Ball Milk had a pretty early break along there, but we are looking for some trades on both sides. Now, Arg, Gaby, and Zhang Wuyong to find breaks. It's now Nathan Ram versus Ball Milk with a very, very slight advantage.
Well, Nathan Ram, man. He's the difference maker. I don't know. Comes into the match. Doesn't drop a great score on his first map, but follows up with an FC and holding the longest FC on this one. Breaks from JWUI, Arg, PP as well, though. So not a lot of support for Nathan Ram, but there we go, PP and Rebo again. So it's a 2v2, that bottom row. Nathan Ram on the FC, Bomilk on a big recovery combo. Gaby Haga, the combos in between them. And the break from Bomilk is huge, as Nathan Ram now on the lone full combo on the end, the largest combo on the map by 500. And that score is going to be massive as the lead stretches to over 165k now.
This is disastrous for Doble Huevo. They've looked so good on the hidden thus far, but again, I mentioned it has basically just been a solo or duo carry performance for them to win these maps thus far. And with Nathan Ram now available to Gurun, being one of their better hidden players who was not here earlier, it does change up the game a little bit, and they would have automatically needed those performances to start into this, let alone what they had to deal with beforehand on some pretty close maps. It's now 250,000 plus score in the lead for Team Gurun, and they are not looking like they're stopping anytime soon. Look at that accuracy on Gaby.
Yeah, Gaby keeping the accuracy up and the sizable backing combo as well. Nathan Ram still on that FC. And Zhang Wuyong and Arj with good backing combo as well. They're matching PP and Rebo, which is all that you can ask of them. And, well, as you said before, as there go Gaby, PP, and Haga, as well as Bomilk on that flow pattern. Third time is looking like it's going to be the charm here for Gurun after dropping the first two hidden picks. They're gonna take the third one here. It looks like that lead 440k, not much Doble Huevo can do, and it feels like we haven't said the name Doble Huevo much in these last couple picks. Gurun making a strong case for themselves with this comeback in this match here. Now, about to go to 4-4, even with these late breaks, should not affect anything about the outcome of this map.
Love this for Team Gurun to get right back into this after how far down they were, and Doble Huevo has been putting up a performance thus far, is such a strong showing, and it's very telling of how they are seated mentally as a team to come back into something like this, especially with a score gap this wide into the end here. And we talked about the fact that they needed to win a lot of points in a row in order to force this tiebreaker. Well, they've made it. They are here. It is 4-4, one pick left for both teams, and it's Gurun's pick.
It is. That is boy, quite the time for them to have their own pick here as well after going those back-to-back points to tie the matchup. They'll have the opportunity. I mean, if they can get this pick, win this map, they'll have the only match point that we will see in this match. Yeah, it'd be on Doble Huevo's side in this hypothetical situation, but it would still be a match point. And the way that they're playing now, it would be pretty meaningful to have that. The question is, what map do they opt into here with not a whole lot left in the pool? You've got Nomads 1 and 2, Hard Rock 2, Free Mod 2. I don't know. Do you just go raw aim Nomad? Do you go precision Hard Rock? Do you go the anti mod in the Free Mod pool? I mean, the options don't feel super great, so it's just going to be whichever of them I think they feel best on. It's more of a feel than anything else.
Now, feeling is important when you're this late into a match, too. You know, we talked about the fact that they have tested the waters in multiple areas now for both teams here, and they've basically gotten information about every slot that they possibly could have at this point. So, to make an educated guess this late into a match is certainly more of a comfortable thing than it would have been earlier. So, 4 remaining maps in here, I can't imagine that they would be going for a Hard Rock just because of neither team has seemingly wanted to touch it, and to go into precision is a whole different area right now. But maybe one of those remaining Nomads is a good opportunity for them. They've been a strong aim team in this match thus far. They've been good at the consistency overall, despite that hidden one. But it's free mod too, so they are going for the mod advantage once again.
Interesting. Well, we obviously are going to use up almost the entire pool, so it's not like there's much that's going to be left to chance and no stone left unturned. But Gurun did win the free mod 1 earlier. It was the proverbial wet noodle fight on that free mod 1. Neither team putting up very great scores, but opting into that pool with their last pick, like you said, I mean, the other options not necessarily feeling the greatest, with neither team loving the hard rock. Raw aim kind of being a toss-up skill set. So I can understand going into this shortest map in the pool, minute 48, CS 4.4, air 8.9. So it's not, it's not like that grand finals half-slashed AR7, CS7, but it is going to be the anti-mod. It is kind of in that spirit of things. And this is a team that I guess just has to feel that they're stronger on those mods.
That's gotta be like the next tournament name right there. Spirit of Anti-Mod Tournament, bro. That would go freaking crazy. But I mean, I'm with you on that one though. Like, this is... It's almost sitting at where Anti-Mod used to sit. I mean, like, CS, bar none here, could be a little bit higher for pure Anti-Mod. But either way, given the styling of this map and the length, I still think that there will be a bit of difficulty here for Hard Rock players. Even with the circles not being particularly small. Same thing with hidden players, it's AR 8.9. I wouldn't really call that uncomfortable for most players who are going to opt to take hidden on a map like this, especially with someone on Gurun like Gaby, who they have available to them, who's really not going to have much issue here. I do wonder if we're going to see the hidden hard rock on 2 different players like we did earlier, though.
Well, I think this is such a different map style compared to the free mod 1. I don't know that you can directly expect a one-to-one transfer of mod choices from players, but I don't have a great feel. I guess there's a world where you see like some overmod hard rock or something, if anything, if anybody is maybe not as comfortable with the slightly lower AR and density that comes with it. But I think we're going to be getting into this, so we'll find out what those mods are going to be in just a moment. And this is a big one, 4-4. Winner of this map gets a match point. Whether it is Gurun trying to take a break point for the match, or whether it'll be Doble Huevo trying to take their own point for the match, will be left to be determined.
Here we go. Final pick for Team Gurun in this match. We do see the overmod come out from Jongwoo Young, the preference hidden. No hidden hard rock from Doble Huevo this time, but we do see an overmod on the double hard rock from Rebo and Endura going into this. So again, that hard rock becoming a point of a comfortable spot for these two teams here, given the fact that the circles are a little bit bigger. Couple early breaks in the slow section here.
And we're just instantly halfway through as well, with this being as short as it is. Those early breaks, suboptimal for Doble Huevo, and now they're just down to a small combo on PP. Meanwhile, Jongwoo Young and Nathan Ram holding the FCs. Arj on the big backing combo. This one's going to be out of hand before you know it, with that lead already going to be nearly 200k. Though there are a couple breaks. Jongwoo Young, Gaby, and Arj all fall. Nathan Ram, though, the clutch factor.
That's it! One more time for Nathan Ram. What a freaking terrifying player, even at 90% accuracy, which is unironically not terrible for a map like this. There's a couple outliers that we're seeing right now in Gaby and Rebo being as high as they are right now. But there's simply nobody matching up to this right now. It's over 100,000, 200,000 now, and Nathan Ram, he's just not stopping. He's 700,000 score.
Yeah, this is a crazy performance once more. I mean, yeah, 91 act, but also this slider is
sick.
Definitely a thing. I don't know what that says. Anybody who can tell me what that says, let me know. But is that an FC from Nathan Ram?
That is with the worst accuracy.
Oh no, his max combo.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Wait, that was a sight read? He said that. He said in chat that was a sight read.
Oh, hell no.
All right, man. That's fine. Well, minute and a half goes by fast, and there is the match point to Gurun. Man, this comeback has been very impressive from them. That's now 3 points in a row. Match point to them. It will be on the last pick from Doble, the last pick of this match, but it will be a match point for Gurun after a very strange match. And you said, Shalir, they could still win this match without going to tiebreaker when they were down 4-2, got that point to go back to 4-3, and looking like perhaps something of a visionary with that call.
Well, we both had it coming here too. You said 4 points in a row to win, which is a big ask for them, but count them up. It's been 1, 2, 3 thus far. That's 75% of the way there. And that leaves Doble Huevos in the most nail-biting scenario we've seen this match. We've seen some close maps. We've seen some breakpoints go back and forth, but here it is, the final pick of this match. No matter what happens, it's Nomad 2, Doble Huevos. They need this win.
They must win point now to stay alive in this match. Now, fortunately, because of the double forfeit from 7 Kangaroos, both of these teams will be going through regardless. However, being the 1 seed out of the group versus being the 2 seed out of the group means you could mean a very big difference in what your matchup is in the next round. So this is still a pretty important one. You still want to win. Maps left available here. Nomad 1, Nomad 2, Hard Rock 2. I feel like you might just take the coin flip and pick Nomad 1.
Well, Nomad 2 seems to be the one for them. Doble Huevos into the stream pick. Flow aim rather than stamina, and Dooms and I touched on this in the last match, but 185 BPM means that this is pretty damn comfortable for these players here in terms of overall tapping requirement. So we've got some contention here, but that 185 also means that you're really not giving it a massive advantage to those big mechanics players on the side of Gurun.
And they traded the tapping mechanics picks in the first half of the match, right? DT2, first pick to Gurun, they won it. But then they second pick Nomad 5, and Doble Huevo ended up taking that. So we said earlier, like, will Gurun want to avoid the tapping skill set going forward? And the answer ended up being yes. But now it comes down to Doble Huevo picking that remaining tapping map as the last pick of this match. And personally, I would like to see them win it because I want to see a tiebreaker. But the way Nathan Ram has been playing, he does not want to go to a tiebreaker. He does not want to lose this match. He does not want to leave anything up to chance. He just wants to close this out with 4 straight points and a match win right now. And there's an early break from Haga, so it's going to be advantage Gurun to start off.
Oh, a good length map and plenty of note density on this. Even at 2 minutes, it is a stream map still, regardless of whether or not it's not a stamina pick here. And this aim and these spacing can go up. It's just Haga having trouble at the beginning here, though. Accuracy's all around extremely comfortable. It is literally the difference of a singular player. And unironically, T1G, I think that there is a non-zero chance that Haga's the only one to find a break.
Yeah, there's a
or not. Lights out, miss aims.
Lights out. This is going to get very sketchy here.
Oh no!
For Doble Huevo. There go Revo and Bomuk. This is actually over. There's still a 4-way intact for Gurun. So they're actually going to go 4 maps in a row from 4-2 down to 6-4 win. And I don't think that there's really much that Doble Huevo can do about it at this point.
No way, man! 4 picks in a row! We mentioned that it was going to be an uphill battle all the way into the finish, and who knew that Nathan Ram showing up would make this much of a difference? Well, I guess you could have predicted that. He is ridiculous at the game. But still, like, one player showing up is this much difference.
Yeah, he just buffed the team mental, I guess. I don't know, because they're all running, like, just absolute kings on this map. I mean, this is not even competitive at all. So it's like the whole team just decided that when Nathan Ram showed up, they were going to find a way to perform better. Yeah, late breaks on these trickier flow sections. Nathan Ram, though, he's going to be the MVP of this match by a massive margin, only playing half of it. No way. Like, this isn't even going to be a discussion as he comes into the ending, still intact, Still
No.
alive, still going, and just to put the cherry on top of the comeback, 4 points in a row, punctuated by an SS on the Nomad 2, and that's a 6-4 final score. Gurun take it from 4-2 down, 6-4, the final score. The victory is theirs. Nathan Ram, their hero.
Oh my gosh, Nathan Rams 0-100, 0-50, 0-miss, double S, full perfect combo on the board, and a 6-4 win for Gurun. 4 points in a row, T1G, unwavering in the second half of that match. What a mental boost for them.
Yeah, that's gigantic. It's the difference between coming out first or second out of the group. It's the difference between feeling good about a match and feeling very poor about a match. I mean, that could not have gone much better in the later stages for Gurun. They got everything they wanted in that one, and they'll advance onward. And it's a bit of heartbreak for Doble Huevo, who probably felt like they could win this one, and things just got flipped right on their heads. Rough one for the lower seeded team, but you can't argue with what Gurun showed in that back half of that match.
That is the scenario that every team dreams of putting up into the end there, and to advance to the next stage in the top seeded spots, going to give them a bit of a advantage over having an easier opponent, I think, compared to that second seed spot for the opposing team here. So well done to Gurun as another winner comes through. That's the second 6-4 we've had today. Still no tiebreakers. That's in a row, but maybe this next match, 2NG, maybe.
Yeah, surely we will eventually have a tiebreaker. I want to see at least one, man, but there's only 3 opportunities left. So, well, we hope, we keep our fingers crossed. There is another match already underway. It is Roblox Kirby versus SoCal Supremacy. In discussion on whether we're going to switch over to that. Worst case scenario, we'll be back at 18 UTC, but we're going to go on a short break while we sort that out. Congrats, though, to Gurun on that comeback win. Well done to them.